Alright, beautiful. Hope all of you guys are doing great. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the trading wizard's entire funnel that generates an estimate of $103,000 per month. So we'll be looking at the content strategy he uses to attract people into his ecosystem, the psychological method he uses to nurture prospects to the point of obsession, as well as the conversion mechanisms that turn skeptical prospects into high-ticket paying clients. So if you're running a coaching or info product business, stick around because we're about to reverse engineer the entire thing. All right, so top of funnel, aside from his Instagram, aside from his TikTok, aside from his YouTube, let's break down what his entire funnel looks like. He's currently running what's called the content multiplication matrix, which means he isn't running just one account, but he is operating a content ecosystem. And what does his content ecosystem look like? So main Instagram account, he has 120k followers. This is where the main authority account comes from. Secondary account comes from his YouTube, TikTok repurposing clips. Third is his lifestyle focused TikTok account, which funnels into the link tree. Is YouTube focused, and this is his clippings account, the typical one. And 5 is his main YouTube channel, which also published the same exact shorts as his Instagram published. So this is funnel multiplication. Each account targets slightly different audiences but funnels to the same exact conversion mechanism. So this one is like having multiple different fishing nets in the same pond to catch the most fish, as well as to get more market share. So within the market right now, there are 4 content pillars that converts cold audiences into high ticket paying clients, and Camille establishes all 4, and we're gonna break it down. The first one is the lifestyle plus authority content. Second are the different educational content, educational hooks plus body content plus CTA. Third is the vulnerability as well as the relatability, and the fourth is the trading education. So with lifestyle content and authority, Camille poses his different Loro Piana watches, right? His Hermes shopping, the different luxury cars that he has throughout the entire YouTube content ecosystem, which is selling the dream. But he doesn't only sell the dream. He posts educational content to be essentially trading specific, right? Every single content that he puts out is trading specific, such as, hey, he asks, I don't know how to start trading. How can I start? Is trading really that bad? Is being lucky really that bad? How to stop being scammed by traders, right? Educational hook to provide free value to the different viewers. Vulnerability as well as relatability, right? Within his story, he shows that, hey, when I was 4, he was, his dad, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. His dad, right, was an addict, etc., etc. He worked a job, and look at where he is right now. So it is relatable to his audience. And fourth is the different trading education, free YouTube videos, free school community that he has, which we are gonna break down. He shows his different strategy as well as the profit that he was able to make throughout his YouTube videos to show the social proof. Now, this is a part where it gets interesting because how does the entire part works together? Top of funnel splits into 4 different tiers, and we're gonna go in depth. Tier 1 is the pattern interrupt. This is where he gets the attention of most of his ideal target demographics. Tier 1 is the pattern interrupt, which is how he gets attention from his ideal client avatar. He posts reels with educational hooks, right? Trading is like gambling. Is being lucky in trading really that bad? Tools you need for trading, etc. To hook in traders who are actively trading, which is his ideal client avatar. Tier 2 is how he builds the authority and how he establishes his credibility is through his different YouTube content. So he shows his transparency, right? He shows his losses and the different lifestyle proof that he has as well. Loro Piana shopping, Hermes shopping to show instant social and lifestyle proof. Third is the constant social proof from the live trades he does, as well as the trade breakdown he does throughout his YouTube content. Tier 3, this one's interesting because it is the belief system indoctrination. He has different podcasts to share his beliefs with his audience. You can see here 1 hour 24 minutes, 1 hour 17 minutes, close to 2 hour podcast to share his belief system when it comes to trading. Different educational content posted throughout his school community, his free school group, as well as his YouTube content. And those are high value, longer form content that builds the crucial know, like, and trust factor, which we're gonna go in depth further on. And side note, his school community, Millionaire Trading School, is more so like a Trojan horse, right? Because it appears to be a free educational platform, but it's actually a sophisticated lead nurturing and qualification system. And how I know this was because I essentially got hit up by one of his appointment setters. Now, tier 4 seems super simple, but this is where he changes the identity and how he builds a cult-like following, because he has this wizard team throughout the entire ecosystem. Right, wizard team throughout. And so if you look at it as a whole, Camille has positioned himself as a realistic trader, someone who openly discusses his losses, like his 2.4 million loss video, right, while showing massive wins as well, right? This creates authentic authority rather than the typical guru fake it till you make it type of approach. Now, after we have gone through how he attracts his ideal client avatar, let's see how he nurtures his ideal client avatar to the point of obsession. Alright, quick interruption here, but I promise it will actually help grow your coaching business. Look, I know there are tons of people in this space pushing aggressive sales tactics and using some weird psychological tricks, whatever. But here's the thing, sales are irrelevant when you do not have a solid product foundation. Personally, as a product-focused operator, if you are running an info product or coaching business and you want to scale without a massive sales team or becoming one of those guru-ish, sales-ish type of guy, click the first link in the description and book a call, speak with us. And here's my simple guarantee. If we work together and you don't at least double your revenue using the systems we installed in your business, we will give you a full refund and pay you back everything you have invested on top of the refund for wasting your time. So basically, you either at least double your revenue or you pay nothing and keep all the systems we've built for you. No weird tactics needed, just results. Alright, so with that being said, let's get back breaking down exactly how Camille built his trading coaching empire. This is where the middle funnel comes into play. The first part that we can see is his school community Trojan horse. So digging deep into this, right? Let's look at the content he posts out. First one, ground zero, right? This is where he rewires the belief system that most of his audience has regarding trading, regarding crypto, as well as the money mindset, right? So this one is more so like a mindset conditioning play with this ground zero. The second is range trading one-on-one, which is his special system that he uses that differentiate himself from the other competitors that he has. Third is the trade entry checklist, which is what he checks first before entering a trade. And last but not least is the book stream example, which explains some different advanced concepts as well as shares some different books that he suggests his audience to read, right? So going a layer deeper, if we look at starting from the ground zero, right? We look at the first course, hey, the scam you're probably living under. What this video does is that it destroys existing worldview that his audience within the trading space probably has. Now that their current reality or their current belief system has been destroyed, the second video introduces that, hey, trading is the highest paying job in the world. What this one does is that it introduces a new possibility for his audience that probably work a job or want a better, lifestyle, right? Third is what? How to build generational wealth. This is where the promise comes in, right? It expands timeline, expands the thinking of his audience. And last but not least is his system. And what this one does is that it positions Camille as the guy that has the solution. And this is where you see the one-on-one application comes into play as well. And finally, a what next video, which creates urgency for action. Now, diving deeper, what are the psychological triggers at each stage? These we're going to break down. We're going to go a little bit dark, a little bit deep, okay? First one is the loss aversion. So he positions it that, hey, you're being scammed by the system. Second is social proof. He shows multiple course modules showing the audience others like you have succeeded. So if others can succeed, you probably can as well. Third is the authority plus scarcity. He shows, hey, trading since 2017, which shows credibility, right? And urgency. And the way he applies it is limited time mentorship application, especially the limited time. And you might argue there is also commitment consistency bias as well. So each completed module increases the psychological investment of his audience. And all of this psychological framework is designed to create educational addiction, which means that his users, his audience get massive value upfront for free, not only from his YouTube content, but also within his free community as well, creating this reciprocity pressure and establishing Camille as the ultimate authority. So now that we know how he nurtures his audience to the point of obsession, let's check out how he converts his audience. which is where the bottom of funnel conversion mechanism comes into play. Really simple, he starts with this Calendly form, and we're gonna break down what each question does, right? So aside from the typical name, email, phone number, Instagram handle, he asks, hey, what is your trading status, right? Segments prospect into 4 different conversion ready categories, which is I'm not involved, have no experience, or basic understanding, active trader, right, but not profitable, or consistently profitable and want to scale. Each type pre-qualifies their different experience level. Second and third plays a similar role, which is desired outcome and describe their current position, which what this one does is that it eliminates broke prospect and creates psychological anchoring at a 4K minimum price. Second question eliminates broke prospect because it asks about the budget that his audience has. It creates psychological anchoring at a 4K minimum and show multiple tiers. So from the 5K to 7.5K, 7.5K to 10K, as well as the 10K plus euros, which suggests premium pricing. Number 3 is the typical commitment level from 1 through 10. Number 4 is the different decision maker confirmation, which eliminates, hey, I need to ask my spouse objection at the end of the sales conversation, which ensures that each person on the call can actually buy, right? Which is this one as well as this one. Make sure that they actually show up. So it saves the sales team time on unqualified prospects. And last but not least, a confirmation of attendance to increase the show up rate. And if you guys are wondering what does a sales call structure look like, it is the typical 45-minute strategy sessions, right? Positioned as a value adding conversation, not sales calls, right? The calendar shows, hey, we will assess you whether if you qualify for our coaching program or not, which positions scarcity from the start. Now, like I said, if you look at the surface, we're only going to get surface level answer. Let's look deeper, a layer downwards. The dark, maybe psychological tactics that made this work. Number 1 is the identity transformation. The ground zero course isn't about trading, but it is about rewiring the beliefs that their audience has about money, right? Classic cult leader positioning, making prospect question their entire worldview. Second is the social proof weaponization. His Instagram highlights show student wins, but notice how they are positioned as normal people who transform their life, making it feel like it is achievable for all the random, people. Third is scarcity through exclusivity. There's multiple mentions of limited spots that only taking 10 more traders, which create false urgency and maybe, drives immediate action as well. Now, I cannot assume that this is false urgency, but from what I am seeing, it might be some false urgency. And last but not least is the $30 million student profit claim, which is constantly being reinforced across all social media platforms. But we couldn't really verify it, but it creates massive authority when it comes to positioning, right? Throughout all of this, Camille implements what's called the heat index principle, which says that each piece of content that your audience consumes moves the prospect closer or further away from buying. So his story sequence is methodically designed to increase the heat over time, to increase the warmth of the lead over time. Heat index, great colors. So on a higher level overview, what does the entire funnel infrastructure look like? This is what it is. It starts from the content diversification. There's multiple platforms of multiple content repurposing his YouTube content into different shorts. Then this is how he captures leads, right? They probably go from his Instagram bio to the personal website, which then leads them to the YouTube videos or the school community, both of which qualifies the audience to get accepted either into the school community or Calendly to book one-on-one calls with his sales team. So Calendly with psychological screening questions embedded. And last but not least is how he converts, which is direct sales calls with qualified prospects. So if you were to do the revenue math, he's estimated to do around the 103K per month, and maybe he's charging 4K plus minimum. So he's probably getting 26 plus sales per month minimum and likely 50 to 100 plus qualified calls each month. And let's say if the conversion rate is around the 20 to 50% due to high pre-qualification, this 103K per month is verifiable. This 103K per month is understandable. Now on the back end, how does he increase his profit margins and increase the customer lifetime value? Is through these 4 different tiers. Number 1 is the free school community, which acts as a lead magnet. Number 2, some people would say is his YouTube videos. Then tier 2 funnels into his 4K to 7.5K coaching program, which is his entry-level coaching program. Tier 3, this is where he ascends people into his mastermind, as we can see him explaining to his mastermind students, right? Pretty interesting. And last but not least, this is unverifiable yet, but he probably has the premium one-on-one coaching 10K plus inner circle that he probably offered or he probably pitched during this event. So it starts with an entry-level initial sale, which starts from 4K to 10K, which then upsells people into the 2K to 5K per month mastermind. And on the back end, his advanced programs probably cost anywhere from 15K to 50K. So total lifetime value is around the 50K to 100K plus per serious student. So why does this funnel dominate? We're about to break it down so that you can essentially copy the same exact frameworks. The main one is the multi-touch attribution, which states that before anyone gets on the call, they have likely consumed dozens of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube posts, right? Consumed multiple YouTube videos, gone through his different school courses, and filled a detailed qualifications form, which once they fill up the qualification form and books a call, they get redirected to a thank you page or a pre-call video page, which looks something like this. Hey, your meeting might be canceled. Step 1, watch through this video. Step 2, watch through the different social proof and, get the most out of a conversation, be in a quiet room, make sure you have good internet connection, yada, 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 as well as the third, click yes in the confirmation email we sent. All of that to increase the show up rate. So all of those content creates the 7-11-4 rule compliance, which is a study came out from Google. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of it. People on average need to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points on 4 different locations to like you, to trust you. And once they like you, they trust you, the probability of them converting into your offer would be significantly higher. So as we can see, there are multiple touchpoints across different platforms, from the emails, from school, from YouTube, from Instagram, to build the trust before he asks. So how does he differentiate himself from the competition, and what builds his moat that when other copycats try to copy, they couldn't replicate the same results? And the answer is simple, right? We're going to break down each 3 factors. Number 1 is the authority positioning, which he shows the losers as well as the wins, which creates authentic credibility while also maintain the luxury lifestyle that most of his audience has or wants. Second is the authenticity factor, right? He shows his journey to make it relatable to most of his audience. He also shows his technical analysis depth to show that he knows what he's talking about. Third is the student focus win plus the personal results that he has generated. And last but not least, he has that European slang plus tone, right? And the videos that he posts are intellectual based, so teaching based middle funnel approach, like more so teaching rather than flexing, right? He shows the different community wins as well as he teaches the long-term wealth building, which is to make money from day trading and multiply it through crypto. So now from seeing that, is Camille really leaving any money on the table, right? So Camille, the trading wizard, has built a near perfect funnel, but he and his team, he's probably stuck in what's called the manual scaling trap, positioning his offer as something his audience can buy from anytime, whenever, wherever they want, which lowers the exclusivity as well as the status of his inner circle premium program. And this is caused by a positioning play, which is always available and always accessible. Now we're about to go into what the most successful infopreneurs do, but let's look at Camille, right? He charges 4K, at least 4K plus for his inner circle, but it is accessible through the Calendly whenever the prospects feels ready, which compares to elite programs like Tory Trades, right? Or essentially Iman Ghazi, who has done over $100 million plus in info products with 75% margins. We can see that they use waitlist and only open enrollments during specific conversion events. So this scarcity creates a completely different psychological dynamic, right? Iman only has his $37 per month digital launchpad right here, and Tori only publicized her trading community, which is around $299 for a 6-month access. So let's talk about what's missing, and then we're going to talk about the solution, right? What's missing is the conversion event model, which the best info product or the best trading coaching owners, business owners, they understand that high ticket offers should feel like an exclusive opportunity instead of the product you can buy whenever you want, wherever you want. right? Essentially whenever you're convenient. Camille could implement a quarterly or bi-monthly webinars where the inner circle enrollments only opens for 7 to 14 days after each webinar or after each conversion event that he runs. So essentially enrollment opens means the card opens for 7 to 14 days. So the conversion event, right? Instead of constantly having to rely on sales teams, Camille could run a conversion event every 2 months to 3 months that systematically shifts the 5 to 7 core beliefs the prospect needs to believe to invest at a premium price. So in between each webinars, he only promotes his free school community and the different low ticket offers if he has those, which does not publicly offer his high ticket offer. By doing so, it builds massive pent-up demand to the point where once he hosts this webinar or once he hosts this conversion event, people feel obligated to pay him to want to work with him even more. So breaking it down on a strategic standpoint, month 1 and month 2 is only the nurture and building phase. And what this phase looks like is that we only promote the free school community and release belief shifting content series. You want to identify the different core beliefs that once your audience believe that, buying your solution becomes inevitable, right? And then during 1 to 2 months, as you publish the different content, build up the wait list for, hey, the next inner circle is opening. Keep an eye out. Right, what this one does is that it builds anticipation through limited student success stories. And what this one does is that it creates huge anticipation, huge pent-up demand of people wanting to join. And again, create the different student success stories or student interviews if possible. And after those month 1 and month 2 period, month 3 is where we convert them and we host that conversion event. And this conversion event can be a 90-minute belief shifting webinar, which at the end offers his inner circle enrollment, which is only open for around 7 to 10 days only. So sales team handle qualified applicants during this window and convert around 50 to 200 people simultaneously instead of having to, hop on one-on-one calls. So sales teams can convert 50 to 200 people each time when Camille runs this webinar. So webinars look something like this, where we start, boom, 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 explain the free sauce, free value. Then at the end, the last 15 to 20 minutes, this is where we offer the offer. And then he can drop the type form link for people to fill up the form and book a call to speak with the sales team. And then sales team, the closer funnel begins and the closer closes the deal, enrolls them within the program. This creates the psychology of earned access, which positions the inner circle as something prospects have to earn rather than something they can buy, right? The waitlist periods within those 1 month to 2 months allows time for belief shifting content to do its work. So by the time of the webinar happening, prospects are pre-sold and begging for access to Camille's inner circle. Second is his massive brand awareness campaign, right? He has multiple different clipping accounts, which could systematically tease the upcoming conversion event, right? Share limited student wins, student results to build anticipation and make people sign up for the webinar. So essentially, each piece of content becomes a part of a larger orchestrated campaign rather than random education. Okay, so with this, each piece of content becomes a part of a larger orchestrated campaign rather than a random education. So in order for Camille to scale to those $500,000 a month, he has to maintain the exclusivity as well as the premium positioning while scaling their revenue through larger conversion events. So more leads signing through the webinar, more reach, more distribution to allow people to sign up and to know who Camille is. So instead of having to hop on a simple 100 individual calls monthly, he could convert 200 to 500 prospects each 2 to 3 months, each conversion events through strategic webinars to increase both the revenue as well as the profit margins. All right, so beautiful. Camille and his team has built a near perfect educational funnel that combines his authenticity and authority to systematically nurture his audience and pre-qualifies his audience to convert those high-ticket trading mentorship students. So the good thing is, well, his competition is either fake flexing with, I guess, rented Lamborghinis. He has built a system that turns his audience, skeptical people, into believers who genuinely want to pay him premium prices to get more access to him. So what makes his funnel so effective, right? this is not just the content, or this is not just the funnel setup that he has. He has basically rewired how people should think about money, right? How he believes people should think about trading and money in general, right? See, most gurus, they try to convince you to buy their course, but Camille convinces you that you need to essentially completely change the way you see the world and the way you see money. So the whole thing is incredibly sophisticated from a psychology standpoint. Like, this is the same playbook that successful coach or successful infopreneur and brands use to create true believers. It's like their own little cult. But here's the most important thing, okay? He actually delivers on what he promised, which is why it works for the long term and generates these massive numbers. Because thing is this, right? The prospect don't want to feel like they are being sold to. They want to buy, right? They want to feel like, hey, they're being let in on something that is exclusive and life-changing. And that is a completely different transaction. And this is why people will pay at least 10K plus without resistance. So I hope this entire breakdown was valuable enough, right? So with that being said, if you guys run a coaching business, info product business, want to start or scale with less to no sales team, click the first link in the description. And I hope you guys have an amazing day ahead. God bless. Peace out.